It's PLB with basketball news, finally back with another video. I know it's been quite a while since I've uploaded a video to this channel, but I'm back uploading videos to this channel. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll get notified whenever I upload a video. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. We're going to be recapping the offseason like you saw in the title. I know I've missed out on a lot of stuff, a lot of NBA news, a lot of stuff. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I've missed a lot of stuff, but we're gonna recap it all right now. So yeah, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. The reason I took a little break from this channel is because there wasn't a lot of NBA content to be talked about, and I just felt like there was really nothing video wise that I could do, and it was just kind of getting to the point where there was no videos that I really thought was a great idea or wanted to do. So yeah, that's why I took a break from it. So yeah, obviously the 2020 NBA draft happened. We've got free agency and trades all happened. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. We're gonna be recapping it. I don't know how long this is gonna take. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. I don't know how much I will be uploading to this channel. Obviously, the NBA is going to be starting back December 22nd. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how often I'll be uploading this channel. I can, I would say probably at least one video a week, maybe more. I really don't know. So with the first selection, the Timberwolves selected the player that just does not want to play basketball, Anthony Edwards. He would rather be a rapper or a football player instead of being an NBA player. And that really is a huge concern for me, even though it may seem little. I think this is a huge concern for the Timberwolves. Because even though he is a very good player and is probably the best player in this draft, in my opinion, he is he does not really want to play basketball. He does not apparently really care that much about basketball. So that's a big concern. He still is the best player in this draft. It's just, do you really want that on your team? I mean, I wouldn't want that on the team, but you've got to look at James Wiseman doesn't want to come to that team, and LaMelo just is a terrible fit. And the other players would be stretches. We knew the top three in this draft, and Anthony Edwards was selected first. I thought it was going to be LaMelo first, and Anthony Edwards was going to fall to the Hornets, but that did not end up happening. With the second selection, the Warriors went with James Wiseman, a center. I'm wondering why couldn't they have just said that? Like literally, all along, it was James Wiseman's going to be drafted by the Warriors, and it ended up happening. But why couldn't we have said that? Like, why couldn't we have just said that, Warriors? Like, why did you want to mess around with Denny Avdija, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards? Like, apparently you liked all the top 10 prospects in this draft. For it to be a weak draft, you liked a bunch of prospects in this draft. Interesting. Um, and I'm sorry that it's like tough to see me right now. I don't know what is going on. Like literally, my light that I usually use is just not working well. So I don't know. Third pick, Hornets selected LaMelo Ball, and as a Hornets fan, there are some questions because obviously his dad's going to be a big problem. Talking his crap, which apparently now we're going to get to see the LeVar Ball versus Michael Jordan 1v1. And I think everybody's positive that Michael Jordan will beat him. But LaMelo Ball is a player that he can't shoot the three. He shoots literally like that. He can't shoot the ball well, which is really concerning, obviously. But he really is a player that like I don't necessarily love the pick, but it's okay. He can attack the rim. And his 3-point shot's going to take a lot of developing. There's not much else to be said about that. And he, I think he has a lot of potential to be a bust, which sucks because haven't the Hornets had enough draft bust at this point? But I think he could be a good solid player. He can attack the rim well, which even if he cannot shoot the three ball well, then he could still score a lot of points because of he can drive to the rim. His mid-range shot is okay. He's not great. He's not great as of right now. He needs quite a bit of developing, and I think he is a project type player. But I overall think this is a good selection. They obviously need a point guard. Terry Rozier's just not going to do it. Getting paid like $20 million a year, really to not do much in my opinion. Well, I mean he doesn't play defense, is what I'm saying. And his offense, he plays offense very well. He does not defend. Devontae Graham does not defend. LaMelo Ball's defense is once again below average, not good. So there's so many players that are in this Hornets backcourt that really do not have, just really are as far as defensively. With the fourth selection, the Chicago Bulls made the biggest reach in this draft, considered by many. That's Patrick Williams. They selected a player that did not even start for his college team. He played for Florida State. The number 12 pick, Devin Vassell, was on that team as well, who got selected by the San Antonio Spurs in this draft. Patrick Williams is a player that I think has a lot of potential on defense. His offense does concern me. I don't think he's great on offense, but maybe you could. You don't really need to be great on offense on that team when you have Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, so many good offensive players on that team. And they obviously need it because Lauri Markkanen, his defense is really. Wendell Carter really has yet to show that potential. He was drafted in the 2016 draft, I'm pretty sure, and he's really just not shown his potential yet. He's a good player with a lot of potential, but just has not lived up to that potential yet. And fifth pick was Isaac Okoro for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Very good pick in my opinion. I thought Isaac Okoro really has a lot of potential on the offensive end. His defense is right away going to be very good. He's probably the best defender in this draft. I think we all can kind of agree on that he is the best defender in this draft. Yeah, I mean he's a very good player with some offensive potential. With the sixth selection, with the sixth pick, the Atlanta Hawks selected Onyeka Okongwu, who is a questionable fit on this team. That's pretty obvious. He's a questionable fit with Clint Capella. They picked him up at the trade deadline. They made a lot of moves this offseason to make their team significantly better from their team last season. He's 6'9", so he could play some power forward if you think about it, but they do have John Collins there. John Collins is just not a center. That's simple. He's not a center. He does not play defense very well. And, yeah, I mean, I think Onyeka Okongwu is a good player for the future. He's their future center, power forward, one of those two. He's not there currently. I think he'll definitely be coming off the bench. I think they'll start Capella over him because, I mean, I think Okongwu under Capella could make him really good because Capella is a pretty good center. Seventh selection, the Detroit Pistons selected Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes, I think, personally, was the fourth best player in this draft. I think he's really, really good. That's just my opinion. I thought if I was doing like a big board, he would be my number 4 prospect in this draft. I think he's really, really good. I think he fits great on this Pistons team that most likely is going to move Derrick Rose at the trade deadline, or they may move him this offseason. They have not yet moved him this offseason yet. There's been a lot of rumors. The Lakers were rumored, but then they got Dennis Schroeder. I think the Clippers are a perfect fit there for Derrick Rose. They need to get, I mean, Killian Hayes behind Derrick Rose. That's not a bad thing. But I want to see Killian Hayes be the number 1 on this team. Christian Wood obviously is gone because they paid Mason Plumlee, which, oh man, that's terrible. But it's the Detroit Pistons. What do you expect? Next, the New York Knicks, another power forward, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin's very good. He has no defense. He just has no defense. He has a lot of potential, I think. I think he can be one of those players that can score. Okay, so back to Obi Toppin. I can't even remember what I was talking about. But Julius Randle, I think, definitely needs to be traded this offseason after they selected Obi Toppin with their 8th selection, in the 2020 NBA draft. I think it just makes sense. He's getting paid $18 million. And I'm pretty sure if you trade him, that opens the second max slot, which who knows if they will get any free agents. They just miss out on free agents. That's kind of what they do. They missed out on Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. People were hyping it up. Didn't happen. Ninth selection was Washington, and they got Denny Avdija, who was projected to go number 4. So it looks like a steal, right? Well, there's some people that think he's going to be great. There's some people that think he's going to be a bust. He's a player that's just a mystery, and I think he's a player that we're going to have to see actually play before we actually get an opinion on Denny Avdija. Next, with the 10th selection, the Phoenix Suns went with Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, I definitely do not think is the 10th best player in this draft. I do not think he's close to the 10th best player in this draft. And what sense does this make? He's a center who, yes, can play power forward, but I really like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. I think they could be great, and DeAndre Ayton in that front court. Why select Jalen Smith here? At the best, he's going to be a backup center in his career. I do not like this pick. I think it's a reach. I think he was probably going at 14 to Boston besides this, or even would have fell out of the lottery. I do not think he was a number 10 draft pick in my opinion. Maybe the Phoenix Suns thought different, obviously. They wouldn't have selected him. With the 11th selection, Devin Vassell out of Florida State for the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to be great. I really think he's going to be maybe even a top 5 player in this draft after it's all said and done. This may seem like a crazy comparison, but I really think he has potential to be a Kawhi Leonard type player. Not as good as Kawhi Leonard, but a type player. He can play defense well. He can score the ball well. Obviously, he doesn't play totally like Kawhi, but similar. He's kind of a 3-and-D player. He could also be compared to Robert Covington, in my opinion, who now plays for the Portland Trail Blazers after a trade this offseason. Next, with the 12th selection, Tyrese Halliburton from Iowa State. With the 12th selection, that's who the Sacramento Kings selected. Great selection here. I really like the backcourt of Fox and Halliburton. And then you still have Hield, who could come off the bench. Obviously, Bogdanovich signed with the Atlanta Hawks in free agency. Tyrese Halliburton is a really good pick here. Whether you do run him off the bench or you trade Buddy Hield, and he really is your starting shooting guard. He can play point guard, shooting guard, and I think even if you wanted to go with a kind of small lineup, then you could put him at small forward. With the 13th selection, the New Orleans Pelicans went with Kira Lewis Jr. out of Alabama, and I really like this pick for them. I feel like a point guard is their main need, even though you could argue that a center is another need for them. And yes, you're right. But Kira Lewis Jr. is really good. I think he has a lot of potential in this draft. Watch out for Kira Lewis to be pretty good. He'll probably be off that bench unless they do end up trading Lonzo Ball. I don't think they will, though. With the 14th selection, another steal here, Aaron Nesmith from Vanderbilt, a player that shoots. His defense is okay, but Aaron Nesmith, I think, is a steal here at 14. I think he could have went 8 with the Knicks as well. This is kind of from like my mock draft. I would say I think I predicted he would go 11. San Antonio, but Celtics got him at 14. No reason to not draft him here. Great selection. Next is 15, Cole Anthony for the Orlando Magic. Cole Anthony is a player that I really think is great on a losing team. I'm not thinking Cole Anthony's that great. I don't think he should have gone this high. I think a little bit of a stretch for the Magic. I understand that you do need a point guard, and your point guard is a main need. But is it really that much of a need? That's my question. Next is Isaiah Stewart, who was drafted by the Detroit Pistons. What a stretch here. I really do not like this pick. I think it's a stretch. I think Saddiq Bey, their number 19 pick, was better than their number 16 pick. I really hate